Hey guys, it's Sarah. Thank you so much for watching. So today I have a new style of video where I'm just going to be reviewing products. Just reviewing some products. I feel like a lot of times I will have new products enter my collection and I never end up really letting you know my thoughts on them unless they end up in a favorites video. And so instead of lumping my product reviews into my monthly wrap-ups, I think I'm just gonna start doing these review roundup videos, probably at most once a month, just to kind of give you an in-depth review on some of the products that I've been testing out. Maybe they aren't favorites, but I still have thoughts on them. And so I think that Jessica Braun also does a similar type of video. I'm sure other YouTubers do it as well. I'll link hers below because that's the person that I've seen do this type of review roundup video. I think that's what I'm gonna call it. It's basically just a way for me to update you on products. I don't always do hauls, so when I do hauls, I like to do haul updates, but this is more just product updates. So I have 6 products today. I think for these videos, I'd like to keep it around 5 to 10 products. I don't want it to be too many because then the video is just gonna be crazy long. So if there are any new products you've seen me talk about, or new to me products you've seen me talk about that aren't in this video, they will be in a future, most likely they will be in a future review roundup video. But today I wanted to update you on a few makeup products and a couple of skincare products as well that I've been testing out recently. Usually I like to test things out for at least a month, if not more, because it takes me a while to really figure out a product. So let's see. One thing I've been testing out is this Mineral Fusion Mineral SPF 40 Moisturizer. So I have been searching high and low for a good, affordable, or reasonably priced cruelty-free facial SPF, and I'm having trouble. Now I haven't tried that many yet, so I'm kind of early on in this search because I was using Paula's Choice a lot, and those I really like, the ones from Paula's Choice, but they're just too expensive, and so I want to find something that is no more than $15. I will also take into account the cost per ounce as well. This one drew my attention because it is a really good value. You get 3.4 ounces of product. I think I got it for around $12 because it was on sale. But so really, really good value. Most sunscreens I think are 2 ounces or 1 ounce. So that is one thing that really was attractive to me about this. I also like that it has SPF 40. It says that it's moisturizing UV protection, SPF and peptide age defense for all skin types, hypoallergenic, 100% vegan, makeup ready. That was another claim that I really thought, okay, that sounds awesome. It's supposed to work really well underneath foundation and stuff. So I do find some mineral sunscreens, especially tinted mineral sunscreens, to be a little bit too drying on me. And so the fact that this one says moisturizing really did draw me in. So I'm wearing it today underneath the Urban Decay Naked Skin Foundation. I actually really like the way that this looks underneath foundation. This is very, very hydrating, very dewy, very thick. I don't think you would like this if you have oily skin. It does right after application have a bit of a white cast. I will show you a picture of what it looks like about 5 to 10 minutes after applying it. I do apply a generous layer of SPF because I want to get the full protection. Once it sinks in, the white cast does mostly go away, but I do notice sometimes if I'm just wearing this and nothing else over it throughout the day, I will notice that my skin is looking a little bit pasty, a little ghostly, maybe not looking super healthy because it kind of there's a little bit of something there that doesn't quite sink in if you're applying as much as you should be applying. But I have to say I don't mind it under makeup. But with that being said, my skin right now is normal to slightly dry. So if you have normal to dry skin, I would say this is worth a shot. Just know that there is a little bit of a risk of that white cast, but I love that it has SPF 40. I think that I always like to go as high as I can. I always look for something SPF 30 or higher, but higher is even better. So I will continue to use this, but I think I'm still going to be looking for something that's a little bit less heavy because it does feel very heavy and sticky going on. And one thing I've noticed, I do like to bring my face sunscreen down the neck. and when I'm wearing it on my neck and I have my hair down, I notice that my hair gets greasy a lot faster right in the parts that are kind of coming in contact with my neck, because it's just very, very sticky and it does kind of get in my hair. So that I don't like, and I don't like to wear it on my neck for that reason, so I'd have to bring a different one in to my neck area, which is kind of annoying. So I don't know, it's not going to be like my holy grail #1 recommendation for SPF, but it is an option. I'm glad that I tried it. I love that it's such a good value, and I'll probably use this up. There you go, there's my thoughts on that. The other skincare product, you guys know I've been really into drugstore skincare lately. I've been really kind of pushing myself to try more drugstore skincare products, and I'm hoping to do a whole video on drugstore skincare. It's probably going to be a while before I can really make that video because I'm still in the early process of testing things out, but one cleanser that I've been trying from the brand Derma E is their Hydrating Gentle Cleanser. This has hyaluronic acid. I have been really curious about the brand Derma E because they're a little pricey for the drugstore, but they're cheaper than like Paula's Choice, for example. They are a 100% vegan brand in addition to being cruelty-free, which I love. I think that's awesome. So I'm trying this Hydrating Gentle Cleanser. We're kind of getting out of the colder months now, but my skin is a little bit more dry in the winter. And in general, I just do tend to gravitate towards more hydrating products because I like giving my skin hydration. I feel like you can't really go wrong with that. I have to say, I don't really care for this cleanser too much. I was surprised. I was expecting to really like it, but for being a hydrating cleanser, this makes my skin feel very stripped after using it. My skin just has that kind of like tight, dry feeling, you know what I mean? And of course I'm following up with moisturizers and stuff after that, but I was expecting my skin to feel a lot more like supple and hydrated after using this, and I don't feel like, if you're looking for a truly hydrating cleanser, you're probably going to be disappointed in this one because it definitely isn't hydrating, and if anything, it's a little bit drying. So I wouldn't recommend that, unfortunately, but I wanted to let you know. I feel like it probably wasn't going to end up being talked about on my channel until maybe like an empties video. So I wanted to let you know about that now. I have had good luck with some other drugstore cleansers though. I do really like the one from Everyman Jack. It's their Charcoal Acne Cleanser, and also the Alba Botanica Even Advanced Cleansing Gel. Both of those are drugstore ones I really like. And so if you're looking for a good drugstore cleanser, I would check those out. I find both of those to be better than this one in terms of not stripping my skin. So onto some makeup products. I talked about this set of brushes in a Get Ready With Me like back in February. So these are from the brand MOTD, and it is their Eye Can't Even brush set. They actually sent this to me, and I wanted to give you my final thoughts on them. These aren't cheap brushes. Individually, I think each of these brushes costs around $10. The set, it comes with 7 brushes, and the full set is $67. But I wanted to go ahead and let you know my final thoughts on these. I've been using these for a couple months now. So MOTD is they pretty much exclusively focus on brushes, and all their brushes are vegan and cruelty-free, so no animal hairs, which is really important to me. And so I was so excited when they reached out to me. I wasn't expecting that at all, and just really excited to try their brushes. These are gorgeous. They have like a rose gold ferrule. The handle is black. They feel really well made. Obviously I did receive them for free in PR, but I do want to give you like my honest thoughts because these aren't as cheap as some of my favorite brushes from Wet n Wild and e.l.f. Those are my 2 favorite brush brands pretty much, and usually Wet n Wild and e.l.f. brushes are around $3. Some e.l.f. brushes are more like $6. Some are even more expensive, but most of the brushes I own are actually, all the brushes I own are from drugstore brands. So this is my first time trying more expensive brands. They're not crazy expensive. They're not like Wayne Goss brushes or something, but they're not cheap. So this comes with 2 kind of blending brushes. Now these are dirty right now because I've been using them. But one of them is a more fluffy blending brush, and one of them is a little bit more dense. I like that there are 2 blending brushes because I feel like the fluffier one is really good for just like kind of starting out the crease with a lighter kind of transition color. And that one is called their Seamless Sheer Blend. The other blending brush is called their Build and Blend. Since it is a little bit more dense, after I've used the fluffier one, I go in with this one when I want to build up a slightly darker color in my outer corner and in my crease. Both are kind of big, so they're not super precise. They also have kind of a pencil brush, I guess you'd call this. This is their Masterpiece Crease. It's a more like pointed crease brush. This isn't the kind of brush that I love using. Usually I think people use this kind of brush for the outer corner. I really prefer my e.l.f. detail crease brush. I have a little bit of an easier time with the e.l.f. detail crease brush because it's a little bit smaller and it has a little bit more give to it. So I can still kind of blend things out and be a little bit more precise, but not too harsh with that one. This I still will use in the outer corner, but it's not my favorite brush for that purpose. Then they have this Come Through contour brush, which I think that they say you can use this for like a nose contour. I don't really contour my nose. This is the kind of brush that I would either use to highlight my brow bone. It's kind of an angled but slightly fluffy brush. I would either use this to highlight my brow bone or just build shadow up in the outer corner, kind of the outer V. It's a good shape for that too. It's kind of one of those multi-purpose brushes that I feel like people would have a lot of different uses for it depending on their needs. But I do like this is in there. I feel like there's a lot I can do with this. If I ever did want to contour my nose, this is probably the brush I would use. The Under the Covers brush, so this is kind of like a pointed flat concealer brush. I like this for packing shadow all over the lid, especially if I'm either wetting my brush or if I'm doing a cut crease. The pointed tip allows for a very like clean and precise application. So I really enjoy that. I also will just use it to pack shadow on the lid. This isn't the kind of brush I would use for concealer necessarily, but I do find it useful for eyeshadow. Then they have the Sultry Smudge brush. This might be my favorite brush out of the set. It's a shorter smudge brush and I like that it's a little bit thick. It's got a little bit of thickness to it, so unlike my Wet n Wild smudge brush, this one has a little bit more thickness to it, and so it gives me a little bit more of a smoked out application on the lower lash line. I feel like it's just easy to use and it kind of blends out eyeshadow on the lower lash line really quickly and seamlessly, even though it is very packed and very dense. So that might be my favorite brush from the whole set. And it's mostly just because I didn't quite have something like that yet. It has kind of replaced my Wet n Wild, I think it's called their Smoky Liner brush, in my routine. And then finally they have this brow brush. This is their Brow Chicka Wow, and it has an angled brow brush that you could use for brow pomade or brow powder. And then it also has a spoolie on the other end. I normally don't like dual-ended brushes or tools because I like to store them in cups, but I don't necessarily mind having the spoolie facing down in a cup. I guess it's not that big of a deal. I kind of do wish they were separate though. But I've mostly been using the angled side for applying eyeshadow as liner. I sometimes like to do a winged liner with powder eyeshadow on the upper lash line, and that's actually what I did today. And it works really well for that. I don't really use brow pomades or brow powders. I'm more of a pencil kind of girl, so I don't use it as much in the brows. But overall, those are all the brushes in this set, all 7 of them. I feel like it's a really good quality set. I have washed all of these once, and I didn't really notice much shedding other than one of them did have a hair that started sticking out and was kind of stuck. So I had to like pull it out because it was sticking out way above all the other ones, but it wasn't coming out. So that was the only shedding I've experienced, but I haven't experienced any other shedding than that. I think that was with the Seamless Sheer Blend, or maybe the Build and Blend. I can't remember which of the blending brushes it was, but it was one of those. But other than that, they feel really well made. If you're in the market for a cruelty-free vegan set of eye brushes, I do think it's a really good set. The only thing I feel like it's missing is a smaller yet fluffy crease brush. That's like an essential for me. The Masterpiece Crease, which is that more kind of pencil brush, kind of fills that role, but I'm missing, like I still have to bring in my e.l.f. crease brushes. I have their crease brush and their detail crease brush, and those are like, I can't really do an eye look without those, I feel like, at this point. I kind of wish that in place of the Build and Blend, they would have just put like a smaller crease brush, or in place of that pencil brush. I'm glad that I had the chance to be introduced to this brand. I love that they like stick to being, you know, completely vegan and cruelty-free, and they do feel kind of more professional than my like e.l.f. and Wet n Wild brushes, but at the same time, if you're on a tight budget, I would still recommend Wet n Wild and e.l.f. equally with this one. And those are cheaper, so keep that in mind. But for a complete brush set, I mean, each brush comes out to around $9.57, so I mean, they're not crazy expensive. They're not as expensive as like Sigma brushes, so I do really like those, and I'm definitely enjoying using them. Okay, so I also wanted to update you on the Dose of Colors lip gloss. I have it in the shade On Repeat, and this is actually what I'm wearing on my lips right now. So I was so excited to try this finally. I had been eyeing the Dose of Colors lip gloss for a while, and so I was really excited to try like a more high-end one. These are $17 a piece, so definitely not something that I'm gonna buy more colors of, at least not in the near future. But I have the shade On Repeat. It's a very kind of peachy color. The really, I think the unique thing about these Dose of Colors glosses, at least the shade I have, is that it's very, very opaque. So it almost kind of blanks out your lips. Not blanks out your lips, but it kind of covers up your lips pigmentation. It's not like a sheer gloss, and I think that's what kind of sets it apart from other glosses. I really do like it. I love the smell. It kind of smells like cupcakes or like frosting. I love it when lip glosses smell like that. And you know, it feels really nice. I've been wearing it a ton because I've just been into lip glosses lately, and because it's a little bit more expensive, I feel like it's very luxurious, and like I almost kind of cherish it more because I know that I spent more money on it. But I also don't feel like it's that unique. Now, I haven't tried that many lip glosses, so you know, I can't compare it to every lip gloss formula ever, but compared to like the NYX Butter Gloss, I don't feel like it's that different, and the NYX Butter Gloss is like $5. The only difference is that this is more opaque than the NYX one. So I have heard that NYX makes a gloss that is, it's like their Butter Gloss Extreme or High Shine or something like that, that is supposed to be a little bit more opaque. So I would be curious to try that one and see how it compares to these. But I guess bottom line is I don't think it's, you have to spend the money on it. Like, I feel like you can find similar things at the drugstore. Texture-wise and scent-wise, the NYX Butter Gloss is very similar. I also saw that Wet n Wild came out with some glosses that are in almost this exact same looking packaging. I think it's called their High Shine Liquid Lipsticks or something along those lines, but it's basically supposed to be like a more opaque lip gloss. Those seem like they'd be very similar. It's a really nice product. I'm glad that I got it. I don't regret buying it. But I also think if you already have a lot of lip glosses and you don't really want to spend $17 on a gloss, either wait for a sale or just you don't need it, you know? Like, you really don't need to spend $17 on a lip gloss unless you've just been dying to try it. It's, you know, it's nice, but you don't have to spend the money. I did also want to update you quickly on the e.l.f. HD Under Eye Setting Powder. When I first bought this, I was unsure as to whether this would be the same as their Smooth and Set Under Eye Powder. That's a very similar looking powder. It's also a white, kind of translucent, loose powder. It's just in different packaging and it has a different name. It's the same product. I'm wearing it on my under eyes right now. I really like this, and I really liked their Smooth and Set Under Eye Powder. I feel like they're interchangeable. The only difference is the HD Under Eye Setting Powder. This one retails for $3 and the Smooth and Set retails for $4. But they have the same amount of product in them from what I can tell online. But it looks like this one is starting to be phased out and the Smooth and Set is kind of taking over. So what I think they did is they just kind of repackaged it and raised the price. So if you can still find the HD Under Eye Setting Powder, this is the one I was able to find on their website back in November when I ordered it, because I was trying to order just a replacement of the whatever under eye powder they have. And I don't know, if you're able to get your hands on the $3 one, try to do that because it's pretty much the same product. And it's the same amount, you get the same amount no matter which one you get. Oh, but actually I'm looking at the ingredients and it looks like the ingredients are slightly different. They're at least like kind of in a different order, so maybe the formula is slightly different, but I feel like they do the same thing. So bottom line, get whichever one, you're gonna get the same product, but try to get the one that's cheaper. Alright, last thing I wanted to update you on are these Ulta Beauty Foundation Adjusting Drops. So these come in a set of 2 and it's $18 for both of them. It seems kind of steep. It comes with a darkener and a lightener. For me, these work really well, but I could see that this darkener is not that dark. If you have a deeper skin tone, this isn't going to deepen your foundations, you know? And for the lighter one too, this isn't as light as it could be. It's actually kind of close to my skin tone, but for me these will work. I've been using mostly the darkener because I don't really have any foundations that are too light for me right now, but the darkener has been really good with the CoverGirl True Blend foundation. I have that in the lightest shade and it's just a little bit too light for me. This gets it right to where it needs to be. It adjusts it right to my skin tone, so it's working really well. I'm glad that I invested in these because I feel like these will be very useful for me. If I do have a foundation ever that's too dark, the lightener will work pretty well to lighten it. The lightener looks pretty, like kind of a pretty neutral tone. The darkener is a little bit warm, so keep that in mind. I don't know, you know, it's gonna mix with whatever tone the foundation already is, so I don't know how important that is, but I pretty much just use like 1 drop of the darkener and that's enough for me. I don't feel like it messes with the formula of the foundation much because I only use like a drop, and I don't feel like it affects the coverage or the wear time or anything like that. So really happy that I bought those. If you're close to my skin tone, I recommend them, but just know that they're not gonna work for everybody, so keep that in mind. So that's it for this little review roundup video. I hope that it was helpful. Let me know if you like this style of video, if you'd like me to keep doing it. I feel like it's just a good way for me to kind of update you on the products I've been trying and review products that may not end up in any other kind of video on my channel. So like I said, if there's any kind of products that are new to me that I didn't talk about in this video but that you've been waiting to hear my thoughts on, they'll probably be in another video like this coming up. It's probably that I just need more time to test it out. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, I'd love to have you subscribe to my channel, and I will talk to you guys next time.